first day on campus, man, I'm so nervous. Lost in this school, things moving like a circus.
Cut! Action!
And I'm here with Nifty and Casey of the Nifty Christian Show. And this is another one of the Approach series where I interview couples, especially married couples who are together, and I want to find out exactly how they got together, but specifically their approach. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I welcome you guys and thank you guys for being a part of this.
Thanks for having us, man. Thanks for having us. It's exciting.
So I was listening to your bonus track on the ones.
Yeah.
And on that track, you talked about your initial contact with Casey. And that is what kind of initiated that whole idea of actually interviewing couples. You guys actually inspired me to do it. Because I was like, that's so cool. I really want to get to know couples exactly how their story, and I liked how you presented it in rap.
He was cool as ice, and through him, man, I met my future wife. Here's how it started.
Go into more details
about
how you guys met and the whole approach. So, who approached you?
Well, it's quite simple. My game is just impeccable, you know. I started talking, she started melting, you know. We went to the same school, U of T, and there was they used to have like pub night, you know, where a lot of people would come together and like call it the attic. And there was a concert, like a little concert there. People were doing poetry, little skits, music, so on and so forth. And the guy that introduced us together, his name is Kevin. I was good friends with Kevin. I met him first day of school, and he knew everybody in the school.
Yeah,
so
he
already knew her. Yeah. He was a very popular guy, right? So
he knew everybody.
Everybody black, right? The whole black community knew Kevin.
He was like the mayor.
You ran through Kevin, right? He was a mayor. So he was just a nice guy, very, very nice guy. So when the night was over, I was saying bye to everybody, you know, peace, you know.
Right, and so I didn't have a ride home.
She didn't have a ride.
I was still taking the TTC.
So Kevin asked.
And it was late.
Asked
really
me.
Late, like about 11 at night or something. And it wasn't Kevin though who asked. It was Kenta.
Oh, it was Kenta, yeah. So
but those they were like all buddies. They all hung in the same circle. Kevin and Kenta were like, right. So Kenta asked Chess over here, can you give you know, my friend a ride home?
And the only reason why I said yes because she looked good. Otherwise, she was in the opposite direction. Okay, hold up. Let me clarify something. This is pre-Christian days, okay? I was not saved at this time. I was very selfish at this time. So, where she lived was in the west, and I lived in the east. So for me to drive a stranger to the west for no reason, I'm thinking there's gotta be something in it for me at this time because this is pre-save days, right? So I thought she was attractive. I thought, okay, I'm gonna drive her, get to talk to her in the car, you know, get my game on, and hopefully build something from there. That was my intention. That's why I said yes. Because had the girl been ugly, I would have said no. Because it's out of the way, man. It's more gas, and you know, I gotta be honest, right? So anyway, so we're driving, right? And she's a great conversationalist. She, you know, great talker. We had a good conversations about politics, life, religion, everything, right?
It was a good ride home, though. It went really fast because we were talking about everything. I remember that.
Yeah.
And so I got out of the car, thanked him for driving me home.
No.
I kissed him.
How did you thank me? Thank you.
I'm not admitting anything. That also was a moment because I was wearing this really sticky lip gloss and it like literally stuck to his face. So I kissed him on the cheek, I thanked him, and I went upstairs and I thought, okay, well, you know, see you around, right? And maybe a few days later, I realized I have a midterm coming up and a binder that I had all my notes in is gone. So I'm trying to retrace my steps. What did I do? Where did I have it last? And the last place I had it was in school, in the attic, the night of the event. So I'm calling everybody that I hung out with that night. And I asked Kenta, he doesn't know. Stop laughing, it's not funny. I asked, all the girls I hung out with that night, they didn't remember seeing it. So I called Kevin. And he goes, why don't you just call Chester? That's what he calls him, Chester. Why don't you call him Chester? He drove you home. It's probably in his car. Call him. I'm like, well, I don't have his number. And he goes, well, I do. I'm like, why do you have his number? He's like, because you never know. I'm like, okay, fine. Give me his number then. And so I took his number because I needed my notes. Right? Yeah.
She knew it wasn't in my car. She wanted to talk to me.
This is what he believed.
She made an excuse to talk to me. Had the notebook been in my car, don't you think I would have called her and say, hey, guess what?
But you didn't
Kevin,
have my number.
Your homegirl left her notebook in my car. But seeing how you didn't get the call from Kevin, I think you made an excuse.
I didn't know how many
to call your boy.
No. I didn't know how many people you gave where I told them to. You probably tossed it out. But anyway, the fact is, I truly needed my notes, and I felt like, can you stop? So I call him. Like, I was nervous to do it because in my mind, I'm going, this guy's just gonna think I'm calling him just because it's just
which he did and which he does. Continue.
So many decades later, still the same story. But anyways, I'm just saying that's what I thought in my head, and that's what was going on in my head at the time. And so I called him, and I asked him about the binder, but the conversation didn't stay on the binder. We talked about everything for hours and hours.
Sorry.
You just ruined the moment.
So from my perspective, this is what I was running in my head. When I dropped her off, right, I did not make any effort to get her number. I did not make any effort to say we'll talk at a later time. I dropped her off and I left it at that.
We all at pub night, but I'm about to depart. And Kevin asked a favor, she ain't got a ride home. It ain't that far, so I agree to take her. We had a conversation, I learned so much from her. I had to play it smooth, I never asked her for her number.
Yep.
So that night you left her house and you didn't ask for her number. So why didn't you ask for her number?
See, I'm very strategic, right? I'm all about building anticipation, right? So like when a movie comes out, a movie doesn't just come out. They give you a release date, and as the release date approaches, you anticipate it and you want to go watch it, right? So I kind of wanted to have the same effect. I didn't want to just come out. I wanted her to anticipate speaking to me again. And by not asking for a number, I wanted to have her mind wonder, okay, when am I going to talk to him again? When am I going to see him again? And just create some sort of anticipation. We have the same network. I know what school we went to the same school, right? So we had the same friends. So I knew through Kevin that I could eventually set up a date and have her anticipate that. But really, she's used, I think most women are used to guys approaching them and getting a number and calling them immediately and being disappointed. I wanted to stand out. I wanted to make sure that, if she's going to talk to me, she's going to fiend for it and anticipate it.
Okay.
And then I will deliver. Yeah, so that was the reason that, it worked.
What would you suggest guys in that situation?
The same thing. Really, I think the ways that guys meet women will differ every time, right? So you'll really have to play it by ear. But if you meet her in a place that she may show up again, like let's say it's church, do not rush to get the number. Do not rush to get the Facebook. Do not rush to get the Twitter. Don't rush for anything. If that's her home church, you're going to see her again for many months to come. Play it very slow. Let her kind of ask herself, why hasn't he asking for my number yet? Once she starts doing that, then at that point you can move in and build the anticipation. But when it's a place where you know that they're going to be, now if it's a place where you may not ever see them again, I would suggest finding out information from a friend that you may know, like a mutual friend. Like get the information from him. Like find out You know, what places does she frequent often, so that you can be there. If it's just a one-time thing, then you may have to just, you know, man up and try and get it right then and there. But I generally try to, I think women are more comfortable talking to men in places that they're comfortable, like church or interest activity, or, you know, approach the link events, or, you know what I'm saying? I think if it's a repeat thing and there's no rush to get it, that's the safer route to go.
So you did mention the anticipation.
Yeah.
And it's giving time for that anticipation to build.
Yeah.
How long should you
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that. It depends, man. Like, there's no, I can't give a blanket statement for that, because it depends on the next time you think you're going to see the person.
Yeah.
Like, if it's, like, for us now, at school, there was a potential to see her every day. Whereas, let's say it's church, it's only once a week. The general rule of thumb is, if there's a chance that you'll see her very soon, then the anticipation date can be delayed. If there's a chance that you won't see her for a long time, then you want to push up the anticipation date and kind of base it off of that.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Because the reason why I asked that, because depending on how long you build the anticipation, the girl's left hanging wondering if you like her. So that's
Let her wonder. Let her wonder. She needs to wonder. No, she won't move on. She won't move on. She won't move on. No. Let her wonder. She needs to wonder. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Let her wonder. I mean, I agree with you. Don't drag it out too long, right? She needs to know that you're still interested on some level, but she needs to wonder. That's what makes you stick in her head more. The fact that she's wondering about you is a good thing. So don't let her stop wondering, because then it's done. Let her wonder.
Okay. So
you don't agree with that, do you?
She's
like, okay, moving on.
I agree to a certain extent, because the girls do that too. Girls have that, or allow the guy to wonder for a bit too, whether or not they're interested.
Yeah, we do.
So I agree in that extent. Just not too long.
Not too long. I agree there too. Yeah, not too long.
Okay, so our next question to you is, who should approach who, the woman or the man?
I dropped her at the door. She said I was a gentleman. Kissed me on the cheek. I said, that's how you represent. And I ain't seen her in a week. It was a little unsettling. I wish I would've said it then. Exam time, now you know it's cram time. A book is in my car, and it has all the elements. Now, she know that I am Kevin's friend. So at this point, our friend Kevin is heaven sent. Reluctant to ask, she had to get my info. Little did she know all the trouble she was in for.